Hi, welcome to another video. So today I'm looking at a Peavey Pro Series 2000, made in the USA. Now this weighs a ton, so I was expecting a huge toroidal transformer in the middle, but no, there's a ton of heat sinks, so it looks like it's a Class B amplifier. What's unusual about this amplifier, it's got a valve input down here, and you can mix, so a valve input non-solid state with solid state. Various inputs at the back. Tube, pre-gain and solid state. Okay. So all these potentiometers, they feel nice quality. The switches feel nice. Yeah, so they don't feel cheap and nasty. So without stripping it down further, so it looks like a Class B. These will be all the resistors in the emitters of the, I don't know, ton of transistors under here. Yeah, two cooling fans. So inputs over here, solid state input, output here. So as I say, it's expecting a big toroidal, and there isn't one, but I can see a cover here. So I'm expecting a switch mode power supply under here, housed in a metal case, which is adding to the weight. I expect the switch mode power supply has gone to short circuit. Let me show you what the fault is on this. Turn it on. So you can see it's trying to start up. Fans move momentarily and then stop. Right, here's the back. I've undone a ton of screws. Speaker A, speaker B, so left and right channels. So preamp out A, preamp out B, wet and dry. Anyway, this is the back panel. They go to your speaker connections at the front. This board is obviously the main amplifier. So they haven't labelled those speaker connections, but I guess it doesn't matter. These, not sure where they go, but they are labelled red, white and blue. It's handy. One huge, what looks like Class B amplifier. Looks tidy. How much would this cost to replace? And to get to the transistors, just undo these screws, till the heatsinks off. Hello, looks like someone's been in here. Or did they forget to chop the component leg? Tidy. And if it's anything like the other Peavey amplifiers I've seen, they use a high grade copper. So I guess I didn't need to take the amplifier off because this is a switch mode power supply. I was hoping for a toroidal transformer, because if it had one of those, this wouldn't be here now. So what have we got? So for all you valve enthusiasts, there's the front end, that valve I was talking about. No idea what sort it is, not even interested, but that's the valve I was talking about. So all this is a switch mode power supply. Let's have a look. I'll have to unhook some wires, but let me see if I can rest that down. So that's a switch mode power supply. Whoops. Did we forget something in the design? I mean, I've seen my add-ons. My add-ons are certainly tidier than this. It looks a bit messy, doesn't it? But well, if it's not going to move, I guess there's no harm. So resistors added to this chip, don't know what it is. Capacitors down there, another one over there. So for a 2000 watt amplifier, so this is switch mode power supply, this is going to be powerful. These are the transformers, look at the size of that wiring. So a lot of current passing through these coils. So the mains obviously comes in here. That's loose. These are always loose on Peavey amplifiers. Oh look, another fuse in there, so if that's blown, it means something in here is dead. So mains filter, 2 relays here, I see. Full wave rectifier, so this is probably 320 volts, mains. Gonna have some big FETs under here, which I must have a look at. Well, they're probably gone. Yeah, so that heatsink is tied to some rail, live, neutral, something like that. Probably not going to be earth. This is a current loop down here probably. I'm assuming this is our output, so we'll have plus and minus a certain voltage. These caps don't look very big, do they? Not for a 2000 watt amp. Let's see if we can see what they are. $160 volt, 820 microfarad. So 8 and 8, 16, 32. So something, yeah. So we're looking at roughly 3,200 microfarad for the plus and 3,200 for the minus. Bearing in mind this is a switch mode power supply, so these are going to be topped up quickly, not like 50 Hertz for a mains transformer. So you can get away with smaller caps. I was going to say they're not 105 degrees C, but they are. I just spotted it there, look. So they've got the M on the capacitors, so I'm assuming they're like Matsushita, but I've never had any issue with parts quality on Peavey amplifiers, so I imagine these are good caps. Time will tell. These caps in the middle, not sure what they do. I don't even know if there's a circuit drawing available. These are ECO-PAC polypropylene. I wonder if these are in line with these coils or the drive to them. Another little transformer up there. And there's 4 diodes there, so I don't know if that's a smaller power supply up here. Looks like it is. So other than this modification, all looks tidy. I'm just hoping I can get the circuit drawing. But I'll take these heatsinks off, see what we got under there. So I've taken out all these hundreds of Torx drive screws, and look what I spotted down here. It's all burnt. So that looks like some sort of, probably current transformers, current sensing. Not sure without the circuit drawing. But it looks like you have to take off the whole PCB to get to the screws to take off these heatsinks. These ones. You can see the screws through there. But yeah, I was just taking out the screws, come to this one. Oh, so something under there is obviously burnt. Also spotted another mod over here. So there was meant to be a capacitor there anyway, like a surface mount, but they've changed the type, put a different type in there. So the customers just text me. I said, you know, how old is this, because there's no dust on it. Apparently he got it from Peavey before they moved out of the UK. He said no one's been at it. Yeah, look at this heatsink for the amp. You can see it's been bent. That looks like it's been levered off something. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, but it just means they don't care about that sort of stuff. So he's got it straight from the factory. No one's been out here yet. Brand new, but maybe out of warranty, which is why I can't return it to them. Well, as you can see, I've taken off the heat sinks and not seen one of these on an amp before. So that's obviously a big power MOSFET. Hate to think of the cost, not unsoldered it yet. So now I see that under there, this will be the transformer to drive the gate of this. You can see it's all blown down there. So I spoke to the customer. He got this in a closing down sale direct from Peavey when they were in Corby before they moved out. So he didn't get a warranty. Bit of a shame because it's lasted 5 minutes and blown up. I've written to Peavey customer services, see if the schematic is available for this. So I was having a look and I was getting confused. I thought, well, if this is some sort of large switching module for these two transformers, I thought, why is there more switching over here? And so I lifted one of these up and then I saw the silk screen. Anyway, these are diodes. So they're the rectifiers. This side, smoothing. Yeah, probably plus minus 100, 120, something like that. But small capacitors because of the switching frequency. It's faster than mains 50 Hertz. So this is the main component over here. This is obviously the isolation transformer to drive the gate. It's blown up down here. This is blown up. You can see the scorch marks on the heatsink. And it's blown up down here. So hopefully it hasn't taken out any of the driver circuit. Just down there. And that's the part you saw earlier, full of bodges. And incidentally I was looking, so don't forget this is new, direct from Peavey. There's a load of components here have been altered. You can see fresh solder, blobs of solder. So I'm wondering if I'm able to get this and replace these resistors down here, how long is it actually going to last? I said earlier I've not seen one of these modules on an amp before. Maybe it's a good thing because other amps haven't exploded in the same way. But you can see the manufacturer there. It says IXYS. So probably a power MOSFET module. And to give you an idea, it's going to have sort of 2 or 4 MOSFETs internally. And this one isn't the right one, but this has like got 9 pins, and so has this module on the board. So that's the sort of thing we're looking at. So I need to ascertain what is the correct part number for this power module. How much is it? Are they available in the UK? Bit of a shame because, as I say, it's new and it's blown already, so how long is it going to last with a new one of these? I have my suspicions. So much for the with smart rail technology. What power rail? It's not that smart because it's blown up already. It's 5 minutes old. You can see the knobs are still shiny. No fingerprints on them. So much for using a discrete power module in this area. What you've also got to consider with this power MOSFET are the tracks running to these transformers, the length of them, and then the ringing you're going to get. So I wonder how effective it is. Not very. Yeah, so it's a fairly straightforward power supply. So yeah, mains in here. There's a rectifier, a couple of transient suppressors or inrush limiters. Main power supply there. They're switching this power into these transformers. The main plus minus 100 or so out. A few regulators maybe for the plus minus 15. Another little power supply down there. Rectified, smoothing. I have my suspicions, you know, whether I can get a replacement for this and whether it's going to work or not. Hopefully it's given you an insight to the Peavey Pro Series 2000. Thank you very much.